One of the things I like about this 300L, it doesn't do one thing good. It does many things okay and good, and if you're to have one bike in your stable, I would suggest one of these Honda 300Ls. Sometimes when I'm on the bike and I'm on the trails and I'm turning right, I feel like I'm off balance a little bit. I'm gonna tip over. I don't know if that's me or the bike. And I have a friend with a KTM 500 I was riding in California, and when I was turning right it felt really stable. However, with this Honda 300L, when I turn right, sometimes on a mountain, on a hill, sometimes I feel I'm just gonna go over. You're on like some detailed mountain trails where it's really tight and perhaps slippery. The 300L can be difficult. Why? Because it weighs 309 pounds. 309 pounds. It's a little bit heavy bike. So the 300L is really nice, probably for like trail riding. I guess what I'm trying to say is the 300L is good for like an average rider, a guy that wants to just get on his bike and go putting down the trails, hit some mountains, having a good time. I myself, being a speedway professional motorcycle rider, but we had a good time. I got second place in the main event. I should have won that race. Lots of people are saying that the 300L is only for beginners. You have to be a beginner to ride this bike. I kind of disagree. I've been racing my whole life, professional motorcycles, and if you're a professional motorcycle racer, when you're not racing motorcycles, you just want to have fun. You want to putt around, you want to challenge yourself a little bit also, but at the same time, you're not into the speed and just trying to like go crazy, because you can do that on the racetrack, right? We just finished our first practice. We started our starts. I must admit, my butt hurts after about 1 hour of sitting on this bike. My butt hurts, and my butt's not skinny at all. And it's nice if you maybe change that seat. You could possibly get a seat Concepts. Yesterday I was on an all-day ride on this motorcycle. I just decided on the spur of the moment, like, let's go riding. And so I got my helmet and just took off and rode to a city about an hour or two away, rode around there, had lunch, came back through the mountains and had a good time. The 300 is really nice, and it's more nicer than driving a car or a truck, especially if it's not raining. If it's not raining, it's nice. But the 300L is just a lot of fun, and if you want to just go out and putt and cruise around for day trips. I apologize what I said in my last video about the dogs. I offended a lot of people, and I'm very sorry about that. Just where I live, there's a lot of mountains and wild areas, and the dogs, they hide in those bushes and then they just dart across the street, or they're just playing in the street and they just dart in front of you. And it's pretty wild. There's no animal control here, so there's lots of dogs. And the #1 cause of death here is alcoholism, when people are drinking alcohol and driving motorcycles. And the #2, there's a motorcycle coming up right here. The #2 is dogs running in front of it. That motorcycle has a small front tire, like a 14 or 15-inch tire, and it had a little girl on the back of that, it looked like. And if a dog runs out in front of that motorcycle with that little 14 or 15-inch tire, guess what? That little girl and that driver is going to crash. And it's very dangerous. And a lot of people, when they go fast, those dogs run in front of them and they have serious wipeouts. They either have serious injuries or they can even die. And there's a lot of deaths. And that's why I was acting a little insensitive, because so many people are dying. And that's the reason why I got this 21-inch front tire, the 11.2 inch ground clearance. Because, why? Because it's safety. We talked about safety in that last show, and you want to be safe. You don't want to get hurt by a dog or anything else. Also, one of the reasons why I'm so fussy about dogs and things running in the street, my mom, when she was working for the Orange County Sheriff's Department, when I was just knee-high to a grasshopper, she had a girlfriend, a best friend. She worked for the sheriff's office also. And she was riding, I guess back east in Maine or something. She was driving a car, and an animal, a big animal like a deer or something, went on the road, and it was nighttime, and she swerved to avoid this animal, and she went off the cliff and she died. And she was a beautiful lady, like 28 years old, blonde lady, very gorgeous. And I asked my mom, like, what happened to her? And she told me the story. And ever since that day, I realized that because of her death, I realized that it's not good if I go off the road and kill myself for the animal. It all boils down to peace of mind, and peace of mind knowing that if you're on a bike like this, something happens, you're hopefully going to be safe. You have to be alert at all times, and you have to watch yourself. Obviously, you can't just rely on the motorcycle to save you, but you only have one body. You got to preserve yourself, because if you're not careful on a motorcycle, it can be very dangerous. When I bought this 300L, I liked it, but it was a little tight. It just seemed a little off, and it was so tight from the factory that I didn't really like it. I said, you know, if I keep riding it, maybe it's gonna get better and better. And guess what? It got better and better. I have nearly 7,000 miles on the bike already, and I just got it about 6 months ago or so, and the bike gets better and better. So if you have one of these bikes and it's like running hot and it just feels like it's tight, just hang in there. There's another little motorcycle. And you know, because what will happen is that engine will break in, it'll loosen up, and the 300L be a very nice ride. Another reason why I got this 300L is I'm kind of a rough rider. You know, I kind of ride these bikes rough. There's a lot of mud on the fenders and stuff like that. It's kind of like a dirty bike, and I ride it hard. Also, the 300L is not the best wheelie bike. I've had some good wheelie bikes, but the 300L is not that good. Some people say it's me, but if you're looking to have a wheelie bike, it's probably not the best bike. I feel really safe and really confident when I ride the 300L. It's not a speed demon. Probably goes like 80 miles an hour at tops. 6 gear cruises. Gears 1 through 5, they go real fast. 6 gear is going to be a cruising gear, but it's not a speed demon, but it just kind of goes on. It's a Honda. It rides forever. I said it before, and I'll say it again. If you have only one bike and you're stable and you want a bike that's gonna kind of take you everywhere and have a good time and be kind of a general bike of everything, you might want to consider the 300L.